So the Sheikh, sorry. So the Sheikh said that, sorry for making it too long about the first, introducing the first couplets. We just wanted to see this, the theme of the poem. Again, I will try to do my best to translate. This was very complicated and complex. I'll try my best. So he said, let's move to the four final couplets. Ibn Arabi says in couplet 13, truly my heart has become receptive to every form, a pasture for gazelles, a monastery for monks, a temple for idols, the Kaaba of those who circumambulate the tablets of the Torah and the scroll of the Quran. I follow the religion of love wherever its camel turn. That is my religion and my faith. We have a model in Bishr of Hind and her sister, in Qais and Layla, then May and Ghaylan. Ibn Arabi starts by saying that my heart has become. The becoming means that before it wasn't. But it wasn't a receptive. It wasn't a receptacle for all the those manifestations. But after a certain procedure, he became a receptive, and he became a receptacle for all those manifestations. What is this procedure? The Prophet ﷺ says the hearts become corroded, and their cleaning is the remembrance of Allah. So basically, your heart becomes dusted. When it becomes dusted, if you want to clean it, purify it, then you need to remember the Lord. And when you realize the remembrance of the Lord, you realize the truth and the reality of what this hadith means. Then you become receptive of all those disclosures and all those reflections. Your heart becomes witnessing them within the self. So what is the heart? Qalb. The Prophet ﷺ says in a famous hadith, there is an entity in the body, mudgha. How would you translate mudgha?
A little meat.
Yeah.
Little organ.
There is an organ in the body. Thank you. There is an organ in the body, a little organ in the body. If it is fixed, then the whole your whole being or your whole body will be fixed. The Prophet ﷺ is not talking here about the physical heart, because he is talking about the spiritual heart, the truth of the human. How would you by just fixing your physical heart just become a good person? It doesn't work that way. So there is another heart, and the other heart is actually the essential reality of the human being. Just imagine this organ as being a small condensed human, as if it were a human condensed within something small. And this reminds us of the human when they are in their mother's womb. When the person is in their mother womb, they are within a paradise. They're fed, they have water, they have a happy life without seeking any sustenance. They receive everything. So your mother is your paradise, your mother is your heaven, and you yourself carry humanity since then, since you are this little fetus. And this fetus is telling us that, it becomes a human being, but it carries the reality of humanness from the beginning. It tells us that this seed this metaphor, it tells us that the human has a seed within themselves, the seed of humanity. And this seed is the Tawheed, is the Tawheed of the Lord. It is the oneness of Allah. And this is found in the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ. It's like every human being is created on the fitra, on the primordial state. And then they are corrupted by their parents, society, family. So every human being carries the truth within themselves. Every human being carries the seed and the secret of existence within themselves. So this heart, it is the essential, again, that's why this heart that's referred to here is not the physical heart, it is the spiritual heart, it is the essential reality of humanity. It is what's deeply ingrained within the being of the human. So qalb has 3 letters, qaf, lam, ba. If we look at the letters and play with the letters, we will find deep secrets or deep meanings, sorry. The final letter, ba, if we remove the final letter, ba, we have the qul, which is say. So this heart talks and has a tongue. And what's the heart? It talks the body. It talks the human being. It speaks the human being. It speaks the secrets that are carried by the human being, and that the actual physical tongue at the end just put into words. If we remove the qaf, the letter qaf, and we stay with the 2 final letters, it tells us, it gives us a lub, which is, I think, kernel in English. So this heart is the kernel of humanity carrying its essential truth. And then if we remove the central letter, the middle letter, we have qub, which is a dome. Qubba is a dome in Arabic. So a dome is a reference to a house. So this heart is a house within the human being. It is a house that talks and that expresses and emanates the secret that is hidden within the human. And this house, this heart, is the house of Allah. It is the house of God, because the Prophet says, Allah says on the tongue of the Prophet in the Hadith Qudsi, the heavens and the earth and the heavens are not big enough for me, but the heart of the believer encapsulates me. لا تسعني أرضي ولا سمائي وسعني قلب عبدي المؤمن. So the qalb, the heart of the servant, believer, is the throne of Allah. And the throne, as and like Ar-Rahman has a throne, in the Quran it says the throne of the Rahman, the most merciful, is over the water. The throne of Allah is the heart of the believer. So if you realize yourself in the words of Ibn Arabi and these realities that he's trying to tell you, you become a throne for the name Allah. And this name Allah and this Allah is not only with us. In the Quran says, and Allah is with you wherever you are. It doesn't say that Allah is only with the believers. The witness of Allah is with the believers, with non-believers, with the animals, with the trees, with the objects, every created being, because in the verse it says Allah is with Allah is with you wherever you are. So it is all-encompassing witness. So when your heart becomes this throne, it becomes with every God's creation. It becomes a throne of the name Allah, and then becomes receptive of all things that are mirrored everywhere. Here it says ghazals, ghazlan, which means which in the poem it says like ghazals, which symbolize beauty. So your heart become a disclosure of everything that is beautiful. But also the monks in the ma'bad, the monks in the temple. The monks in the temple in Islam, monkhood, monasticism is forbidden. It is forbidden because in the Quran it says so. So we don't have the idea of monasticism in Islam. So it says that this is something that is not acceptable. But then Ibn Arabi is telling us that this witness that has been realized within him, because he realized the witness of Allah, and his heart became the throne of Allah. Now he is a receptacle of the beautiful and the not what is beautiful and what is reprehensible, what is acceptable and non-acceptable, because Allah is not only with the acceptable. Allah, you find Allah with the acceptable and non-acceptable. So that's why his heart become an image carrier of all the images of everything, and this is the meaning of love. The meaning of love, hub, it's not to speak about love and in reality hate beings and hate God's creation. Only love this group of God's creation and dislike another group of God creation. If you want to talk about love, your heart needs to become a disclosure of all of that which Allah is with. And then you realize what true love is, and you become someone who can speak about love. You know, in the Quran, Prophet Sulaiman, he did not say that Allah is only with the believers and neglected to speak with when the hudhud, the bird came to him from Yemen. I don't know hudhud in English, but you guys know probably the story, right? Did not say like, oh, God is not with the hudhud, but because he was his heart was carrying love and disclosure, everything, he knew that everything is a sign from God, and he gave an ear to the hudhud, and thanks to his acceptance of this manifestation, a whole nation became monotheist. He respected also the ant, because and through that he shows us that love transcends certain manifestations, and it tells us that love does not transcend like manifestations over other. It is a comprehensive of every divine manifestation, or like manifestation that are brought by the divine. So love is not just a speech or a feeling without an essential truth, reality. And what is this truth? It is being illuminated by the divine light. Rabi'a, the famous Sufi, female Sufi saint from the 3rd century, I believe 2nd century, from the Islamic era, says in a famous poem, I love you two loves. The love of desire, and the love because you deserve to be loved. So the first love is the love of desire. She desires God. The second love is the love that you realize that God is not worthy, but imposes love, and that happens when the veil is lifted and you witness the greatness of the divine. When the divine disclosure happens, you realize that the love that he deserves to be loved, that he imposes love. And this kind of love that brings together desire and the fact that God must be loved. It is the love that we talking about. This is the love that you find in the heart, that is the heart of the Kaaba. the heart that becomes a heart, Kaaba heart. Kaaba is that the Kaaba in Mecca we're talking about, because this kind of heart, it is the heart that brings all the manifestations together. And how to bring all the manifestations together? You need to turn your heart into light, upon light, annihilate basically all the images and return to the essential light from which everything is reflected. And then the heart will talk by itself, and it will say things like what Ibn Arabi is saying. The Prophet says in the hadith, in the hadith in Sahih Muslim, he says, every time he goes to the masjid, he says, "Oh Allah, place in my heart light." And then he continues from there, say, "Place in my right light, in my left right, in front of me light, behind me light, above me light, in my limbs light, in my skin light, in my hair light." But he started with the heart. He didn't start with the directions, with the right and left, with the circumstantiality. Before he started with the essential place of humanity, the truth of humanity. That's what must be lit up first. That's where you need to have the light first, started with the heart. So when you start with the heart and you have the light of God within your heart, then that light flows to your other 6 directions, basically right, left, front, back, up, down. And then the Prophet ﷺ did not only limit himself to the directions, but asked for more light. And at the end, the light, wanted light in his skin, wanted light in his blood, and all that. And then he asked for God to make his light greater. وَعَظِّمْ لِي نُورًا, more light. And that's when you have all the light up and light, then you become the receptacle of all of the manifestation. You transcend all of manifestation, and you become the receptacle of all the images. You become the source of light, and you become the throne for the light of God. And the people of this time talk about love, write about love, but whenever they die, we all forget about what they said and their poetry and their words about love, because they don't have the light of God, because they're not connected to the light from which this love is realized through the luminous disclosure. So God is with us through his love, and may God make our heart the throne of his throne.